welcome you both to the world's greatest county fair. We're happy to have you up here in Northwest Iowa. We're hearing the frustration of moderate voters of both political parties with the lack of bipartisan cooperation on Capitol Hill. There's also a concern that the extremes of both parties have hijacked the conversation, elbowing out moderate voices. Could you reflect on that sentiment and express what can be done to re-engage those voters who are turned off by the fiery rhetoric at the expense of action?
And that's directed to me?
Yes.
Well, thank you. First of all, I would tell you that we've had over some history some pretty good bipartisan action in the Congress. It isn't really tied so much to political ideology when you're dealing with something like the Farm Bill. That's a regional situation where you build regional coalitions. We built some good regional coalitions. That's why there were only 11 no votes against the bill coming out of the Ag Committee, because we did work across the aisle. And my staff ties in with Colin Peterson and his staff, the ranking member, as well as the chairman of that committee. But what I saw happen was when Nancy Pelosi became Speaker of the House, and by the way, we need to be concerned about not allowing her to become Speaker of the House again. She shut down the process in Congress, and that created a greater polarization. It was bad enough before. I agree with that. But we had open rules for over 200 years that allowed a member to come down to the floor under an appropriations bill and offer an amendment, force a debate on it, force a recorded vote, have their word heard, and make sure that that went into the congressional record so that the press could report on what actually was going on in Congress, and you could get people to take positions in doing that. That was true in the first year before she shut the system down, and I actually got more amendments passed that year than anyone else in Congress. But then she shut the system down during the period of time that she was Speaker, and open rules were almost a thing of the past. And it wasn't just me that was frustrated, it was Democrats too, who couldn't get their word heard because bills were written in the Speaker's office. So we went through 4 years of that. And in the process of that happening, we had this group called Blue Dog Democrats, about 53 of them. And they were the moderate conservative, work across the aisle people. Well, a lot of them were beaten in the election in last 2010. I lost some friends off the other side of the aisle. And so now the Congress is more polarized, partly because of it's partly because of the results of the election, it's partly because of the process. But we've opened up the rules. They aren't as good as they need to be. John Boehner has improved this, and there's more open rules. We're moving in the right direction. But it isn't just the Congress that's polarized. The country is getting more polarized. The President has been contributing to that, pitting people against each other. I want to see us unified together as one people, one civilization, one culture. Thank you.